Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we got Bitcoin right now trading on the chart at about 20,400. So really, not too much has changed over the last few days, actually. We are still hovering in this level of support. Yesterday, we did see a bit of excitement here, bringing Bitcoin up to 21,700, but, nothing significant, really. This level is ultimately still holding for Bitcoin. You can see here, zooming the chart out a little bit, Bitcoin still hovering in and around this zone. It did wake up a few days ago, bouncing off that former all-time high that we saw set back in late December 17, and it is holding. It looks like a back test of the former all-time high, and I guess we'll see if that level holds. And of course, since we are still in a spec market and utility really isn't driving anything yet, the rest of the crypto space looks the same. XRP right now trading at about 32 cents. So also just holding a level down here, a level that we saw back in late 2020. In and around here, we saw it bounce off that level again right over here before it started moving to the upside. So we'll keep an eye on that. Not too much to talk about with regards to price. But I thought this was interesting. BitTrue users are holding over $85 million worth of XRP, and 78% of users are long. Now, this coming from XRP Crypto Wolf, bringing us some statistics, guys, from BitTrue. XRP and USDT became the fastest growing trading pair in futures. So again, statistics from the BitTrue exchange. And for those of you guys who may be looking for a secondary trading account, I have a BitTrue link. I have a link, an affiliate link in the description of the video if you guys are interested. I find it's a pretty good exchange. The big thing, though, that I find that where a lot of the XRP community loves BitTrue is the fact that it is very XRP centric. So a lot of trading pairs over there with XRP. But take a look at this. So right now in the futures service, BitTrue users are holding over 80 million USDT of XRP, and our data shows 78% of users long on this asset. Here's a graph just demonstrating that, the long to short ratio with regards to those accounts, and the green demonstrates the long accounts, whereas the red demonstrates the short accounts, and then the ratio is this yellow line over here. As a result, all of the increased interest XRP to USDT became the fastest growing trading pair in futures this week. If you're holding this asset or planning to soon, please pay attention to the risks and properly manage your assets. So an interesting update there from XRP Crypto Wolf. Also, I think it was over the weekend, I was talking about Sam Bankman-Fried, and he's the CEO of FTX, and how he was talking about bailing out the crypto industry. Now, he is a billionaire. He owns the world's biggest crypto exchange, and he was saying, look, okay, this was his philosophy. We don't want the crypto industry to collapse, and there are too many players, not saying they're bad actors, but too many people out there, crypto CEOs with big money who weren't able to manage their companies properly, perhaps got a little ahead of themselves, and now some of their companies are defaulting. So what he said was, I'm going to swoop in with a load full of cash and help bail these companies out. Well, Hester Peirce has now gone on the record and said that she does not actually support these crypto bailouts. Count SEC Commissioner Peirce among those who believe that the recent crash could give the industry a more sustainable foundation for the future, guys. Here's a quote. When things are a bit harder in the market, you discover who's actually building something that might last for the longer term and what is going to pass away, said Peirce in an exclusive interview with Forbes last Friday. But that is not only the benefit that she believes could come out of this market downturn. It can also be a valuable learning opportunity for market participants and the regulator to see how the crypto market functions during times of acute stress. It is helpful for us to see the points of connection. It's a moment not only for market participants to learn, but it's also for regulators to learn so that we can have a better sense of how the market operates. So she is basically saying cream should rise. It should be a market of Darwinism. Those who have properly safeguarded themselves, those who have done things correctly, those are the ones who should survive, and the weak should perish. Although painful, and Peirce made it clear that she does not make light of anyone suffering through the drawdown, she is correct in this assessment. After all, it has been 4 years since the industry has seen such a collapse, long before many key officials across the government came into their positions. And for her, Peirce was confirmed as an SEC commissioner in January of 2018, right as the initial coin offering market was about to collapse. However, institutional money had not yet come into the space. Derivatives markets were in their infancy. Decentralized finance had not yet become prominent, and virtually nobody had heard of NFTs. So The article goes on. I will link this in the description of the video for you guys. Essentially, though, her statement here, I think in a lot of ways makes sense. You can't just come in thinking you're going to save the day with a boatload of cash and bail out all your buddies, Sam Bankman-Fried. I think there's probably a lot on the line for him, probably personally, professionally, and he doesn't want the industry to perish. Let's not forget, he is the CEO of the biggest cryptocurrency exchange. So I see Hester Peirce's point, but I'm sure you could argue some points for Sam Bankman-Fried as well, not wanting basically to start from zero again. And let's not forget, if all these crypto companies falter without his bailout money, how is that going to look, right? Government regulators, they're going to be drooling over that prospect, pointing to them, seeing, look, this is what's happening. This is why we have to tighten regulations up. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. An interesting interview there with Hester Peirce from Forbes Crypto. Mickey B. Fresh here, guys, bringing us some news with regards to Flair's mainnet launch. So initial 15% distribution of FLR tokens will be dropped to claimants of the December 2020 snapshot of XRP. I don't know if you guys were around and participated in that. Once 75% of 15% FLR is available to claimants, we will vote on government's proposal that allows claimants to redirect the remaining 85% of FLR off of exchanges. Here's a little video, guys, just describing what's happening. It is proposed for this July 4th. Listen to this.
We really are trying to launch Flair on the 4th of July. And then, as I've mentioned previously, we think there's a better way to distribute the token that achieves some of our core objectives. Both objectives for the community, making it lower risk for the community, making it better rewarding to take part in the protocols, and generally making the network better and stronger and giving it a longer time for the ecosystem to come to fruition, such that we're more successful together. So, as you know, in the distribution proposal, it's 15% of the tokens being distributed on day one. And those are distributed, obviously, to people that claimed them, through through their ledger devices, through self-custody, but the bulk of them are going to exchanges. And so we don't want to hold that governance vote until we are aware that at least 75% of the tokens are not with exchanges, but with the people that they're meant to go to. So we'll be watching exchanges to make sure they've distributed them. And then once 75% of the tokens have been distributed, that initial 15%, we will have a governance vote on the token distribution. And I'll be releasing the token distribution memo as soon as I get around to polishing it off, which will be soon.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. There's about 45 seconds left on this clip, but I thought I'd just give you guys the highlights. Essentially, he's basically stated, there's not going to be a governance vote until all the FLR tokens that were airdropped go to their rightful owners, because a lot of people have been custodying on exchanges and do not have or did not have their XRP in self-custody wallets at that time. Which, I always think is a big no-no, but to each their own. I guess that's what people were doing in 2020. I hope you have since put your XRP on a Ledger Nano cold storage solution or similar. Again, guys, I got an affiliate link, not your keys, not your crypto. You can use my link if you want. You don't have to use it, and you don't even have to use the Ledger. But I hope you moved your crypto off the exchange since then. Anyway, Mickey B. Fresh saying, wow, huge news for anyone who claimed on an exchange. You'll still receive the initial 15% from your exchange, but best of all, there's no cooperation needed from exchanges to redirect address for renaming 36-month distribution to a new address, but governance proposal needs to pass. There will be no change in initial 15% and the 36-month distribution. But this governance proposal will effectively remove risk of exchanges not passing on FLR over the course of about 36 months to their customers. Also, there will be added incentives for people to engage with the Flair networks. And so the thread continues down here. Here's what to expect after the launch of Flair Mainnet. There's likely to be multiple governance proposals that will be voting on after Flair launches, delegating your FLR to FTSOs, is no risk and easy to do. dApps will be enabled ASAP, but expect phased rollouts for F assets. And so Mickey B. Fresh, if you guys aren't following him on Twitter, he's a very good resource for FLR, Spark tokens, Flair network updates, and I believe he also does have a YouTube channel too. So I do suggest you guys follow him if you guys did participate in that snapshot, or even if you didn't and you're just interested in the project. Something else that I wanted to bring up too, guys, this brought to us by Tag XRP here on Twitter, a must-read recent 17-page letter from former Ripple head of global regulatory affairs and public policy. This is from Michelle Bond. Now, this letter was from the Atom Project. It was from a couple of months ago now. Michelle Bond wrote this to the SEC, given that the SEC staff now appear to be distancing the SEC from the Hinman speech. And I've got a link, guys, to the entire letter here. I'm just going to read you guys a little bit of this because it is 17 pages long. The Association for Digital Assets Market, or ADAM, appreciates the opportunity to comment on the SEC's request on the SEC's proposed changes to regulations, ATS, and then it gives the rule here, all of which are adopted under the Securities Act of 1934. As discussed below, while ADAM generally supports the SEC's investor protection and public interest goals, we do not believe that the proposal as drafted advances those goals, at least with respect to the nascent digital asset industry. In particular, the revisions to the Exchange Act rule that would capture a vast array of new technologies and the persons who develop and advance those technologies has a real potential of chilling further development in the United States of digital asset technologies at the time when U.S. investors and the U.S. economy cannot afford to take a back seat to these innovations. While ADAM and its members generally agree that regulations in the digital asset space can advance investor protections, the public interest, and help maintain the United States' position as a global leader in financial technology, the wrong approach can leave the United States as a long-term competitive disadvantage as it has in the past. To this end, we encourage the SEC to specifically exclude digital assets as coming the proposal's scope and instead work with its fellow regulators to develop a comprehensive approach to the regulation of digital assets. Now, again, this letter was written a couple of months ago. The thing that was interesting that Tag brings up, I'm just now seeing that Michelle Bond deleted her work history from Ripple on LinkedIn. So I don't know when Michelle Bond did this, and I don't know if you guys know, Michelle Bond is running for Congress currently. That is a more recent update, just happened over the last few weeks. But she deleted her connection to Ripple on LinkedIn. I'm guessing since her job was to oversee global regulatory affairs and public policy, and they are now tied up in litigation, she doesn't want that on her work history. So just going to Michelle Bond's LinkedIn account here, as you guys can see, some work experience. Let's show all experience down here. You can see Ripple is missing from this list, and we do know she was working at Ripple and was the head of global regulatory affairs over there at Ripple. So interesting that she deleted it. Considering her position today, I mean, it does make sense. Ripple XRP, the biggest story in crypto regulation today, and the regulations that will follow once the Ripple SEC lawsuit has come to a close. So the other thing I like pointing out about Ripple, is that they are not beholden to U.S. regulators. So, on the one hand, it feels a little backstabby that the SEC is taking them to court, considering how influential the XRP token is going to be and how important it's really going to be in the future of money. And we continuously see this worldwide, stepping out of the United States. We're constantly seeing news like this. This brought to us by John Dean. I believe this could be good news for XRP in the long term, considering SBI is Ripple's largest shareholder, and the CEO, Yoshitaka Kitao, is a huge believer in XRP. And what he's talking about is this: SMFG is in talks to buy a 10% stake in SBI Holdings. Now, SBI is a huge bank in Japan, guys, and now Japan's Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group is in final talks, to acquire about a 10% stake in SBI Holdings with the aim of boosting their securities business, Nikkei has learned, in a deal that could be worth about 80 billion yen, or that roughly translates to about $587 million US. As a traditional megabank group, SMFG has a solid corporate customer base in Japan, while relatively new, SBI has plenty of young retail customers. Combining their strengths, the two companies are seeking to deepen penetration in the domestic market. SBI SBI is expected to issue new shares to SMFG, according to sources, subject to regulatory approval by U.S. authorities. SBI is also likely to consider a small investment in SMFG. So we're seeing this almost sounds like a symbiotic relationship, but the 10% stake in SBI. So we gotta remember, Sumitomo already partnered with Ripple. I believe they are one of the banks in that consortium of banks that did commit to running on RippleNet. SBI, obviously, we know the story there. One of Ripple's biggest shareholders, and now we're continuing to see the momentum of that synergy build. I don't know if you guys remember from back in 2020, financial giant SBI was to test XRP in the $6.6 trillion foreign exchange market, and so this is what was going on then. I don't know if perhaps this partnership has anything to do with that, but as per John Deaton here, he asks at Sentosumo Saba, who is Crypto Eddie here on Twitter, what her opinion is. SMB Banking Corp is part of the Big Four in Japan, says Crypto Eddie. SMFG Financial Group in Corp and SBI had a relationship for 15 years. Examples, and then she lists off some examples here. SBI NetBank, equally owned by Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Bank. That happened in 2007. 14% R3 stake from SBI in 2020, and then countless co-investments, i.e. RippleNet, MoneyTap, so on and so forth. So just giving us some more connections there with regard to that particular partnership. Wrath of Kahneman also mentioning SMBC is already invested in both MoneyTap, which is RippleNet, and R3, in addition to Decurrent, Marco Polo, and Voltron. Perhaps it's a play for access in the Osaka DLT exchange SBI is building. So notice, guys, a lot of connections here to Ripple. Also, Sandy Ver mentioning this, SMBC also owns Bitstamp through a Belgian shell company, and that company has been around since 2018. Extract from Belgian State Gazette. So this is directly from the Belgian State Gazette. You can see that Sumitomo Mitsui Bank owns Bitstamp, which we know Bitstamp is a Ripple ODL partner. So all very interesting connections, but Citizens of the Future brought this up. A post, guys, from back last November, and we've seen this flow chart in the past. Remittance services utilizing distributed ledger technology between Kingdom of Thailand / Europe partnership with the Bank of Ayuda, a major Thai bank. New XRP corridors with SBI holdings equals more volume. So he was just bringing up this flow chart here, just demonstrating how ODL running through SBI holdings is actually helping bridge and helping to facilitate transactions with some of these other institutions. So a few screen grabs here just to demonstrate that as well. Interesting to say the least. Also, guys, another big piece of news here with regards to Ripple partner Mojaloop. The Mojaloop Foundation has launched Mojaloop Central Bank Digital Currency Center of Excellence in Singapore. This coming from XRP Crypto Wolf. The Mojaloop Foundation today announced the launch of its Mojaloop Central Bank Digital Currency Center of Excellence in Singapore to advance financial inclusion in emerging markets. In addition, the Mojaloop Foundation announced the appointment of Nick Drury, a seasoned executive with nearly 25 years of experience innovating payments technology to drive inclusion, as the Mojaloop CBDC COE Director. Nick will oversee the operations and strategic growth of the COE and its initiatives, such as hackathons, workshops, and pilot projects. Through these efforts, the COE will examine how Mojaloop open source software can leverage CBDCs to reduce the cost and inefficiencies of fast payment platforms and cross-border payments. Okay, big news here. Mojaloop, guys, head of a new or spearheading this new CBDC Center of Excellence in Singapore. So, of course, we know Mojaloop is a Ripple partner. They have been for quite a while now. We're excited to partner with Mojaloop to engage with local developers. This is just one statement from Ripple back a couple of years ago, but they've been partnered for more years before this. So this is just one thing, local developers and entrepreneurs in efforts to improve the payments ecosystem. But another reason why, guys, this is so important is the link between central banks, central bank digital currencies, and the mechanism essentially that is going to be transferring all the money across borders. Mojaloop partnered with Ripple, has been for quite a while now, and not only that, there's also the connection that Ripple has creating, or rather helping to create certain central bank digital currencies for certain countries. So there's that as well. But, I also thought I'd point you guys to this. Bank XRP posted this quite a while ago. This was from December 2021. Mojaloop Payment Systems for Inclusion. Its members include central banks, financial services, and technology companies such as Ripple, the Rockefeller Foundation, Coil, Google, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And for the full PDF, you guys can click here if you are interested. So these guys, well-connected: Rockefellers, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Google, Ripple. Even down here in this article, I think they even mention a few other members here: Modusbox, and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, Red Compass Labs, and Cybrin, which I guess some other organizations there. These ones don't sound familiar to me. But the Monetary Authority of Singapore, obviously the central bank over there in Singapore. The Mojaloop CBDC Center of Excellence will further expand the Mojaloop Foundation's efforts to advance financial inclusion in emerging markets, led by our COE Director Nick Drury, and supported by the working group. The COE will examine the ways in which CBDCs have the potential to make a wider spectrum of Mojaloop-enabled push payment capabilities available to central banks for their citizens, merchants, and digital financial institutions. So some big news there, guys. It's looking as though the powers that be are forging ahead and looking to push through central bank digital currencies with the help of Mojaloop, Ripple. Of course, it does not hurt to have the Rockefellers on board, and Bill Gates. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.